Hey, welcome back. I'm your host, Charity Majors, and in today's episode, I am going to be sharing about the one question that helps me know whether or not the whatever bazillion ideas that come to me in the shower or the great things that I see other people doing and all of the things that I'm learning about, that if it is meant for me or not. And if this is your first time joining me, my name is Charity Majors. I am the founder of Business Bubbly and Meant for More. I'm an author, a speaker, and I love the meme that's kind of going around right now where it talks about my love language is seeing other women rise. And that literally is my love language. I have been such a I just love us. I love us as women. I don't know. I remember back in the day, I felt like women were catty and gossipy and all that stuff, but not anymore. I think that we have gotten through that narrative. We support each other. 99% of women that I am around are amazing and supportive and collaborative and helping each other and want each other to rise to the top. And I just love us. So I just support us as women and create spaces for us to grow and to expand. And my heart is to really see us as women rise and take our place and walk out the destiny and the big dreams that are on our hearts. I'm a big dreamer, so if you are too, you are in the right place. And I don't know, if you are a big dreamer like me, then you probably have a lot of different dreams and a lot of different things that you want to do and accomplish and a lot of different ways to get there and a lot of different ideas. I do too, my friend. I do too. And I remember asking myself this one question. And because if you're a dreamer like me, I know I can stand in the shower and have about 2,500 new ideas come to me all at once. And I'm like, ooh, I should totally do those. Seem so great. And I should totally do those things. And I remember earlier in my entrepreneurial journey, I would actually take action on a lot of different ones. And you should see my funnel graveyard is what I jokingly call it, behind the scenes of all the different funnels that I have and all of the different graveyards of products and ideas and random Instagram accounts and websites. And I legit have an idea graveyard for ones that I have either brought to life but they never took off, or I thought it was the best idea and the market didn't meet me with a yes, and so I shut it down. And it was this trial and error thing that I was like, okay, I have to be asking myself a different question, not necessarily if I should bring this to life, but is this meant for me to bring it to life? And until we start to ask ourselves better questions, we actually won't get better answers. And so I started to ask myself this one question. And I actually believe that kind of in this world that says you can have it all, the real flex is that you actually ask for and get what you really want instead of all the things and all the whatever and all this stuff. And so for me, I actually had to get really, really clear on not only what I want, but who I be and what I was created for and the gifts that I have on my life and how those can be reflected in the world around me, how those can manifest, how those can show up in the world around me. And so here's the question. Are you ready for it? Okay. Now, this question came to me when AI actually first came out, and then when Reels came out, and when AI came out. And for me, I, as a kind of a pioneer, as a forerunner, I can see opportunity in things. And so when Reels first came out, I ended up doing I kind of figured it out and failed forward along the way, and figured out what buttons to push and how to do it quickly, and how to insert like magnetic messaging and all this fun stuff into the content. And I was kind of one of the first ones in my area to be able to do this. And so I started hosting fun workshops and have an online course. And I even have the website, sheisforreal.com. And even the Instagram, legit, you can go see it. She is for real is on Instagram. And I started making a lot of really great money, talking about Reels and how to be able to utilize it in business, and how to be able to harness it as like gaining visibility, and how to convert content to clients and all this different stuff. And then I remember sitting there, and this was where the question came from, was, do I want to be known as the Reels woman or the Reels girl? Like, is this what I want to be known for? Right? And it kind of not punched me in the gut, but it was kind of this, oh, okay, not necessarily. As much as I love people who, teach content and all the different content strategies, we need that, but that's not what I want to be known for. And so I had to kind of let that one go and not pursue it. And there's a lot of people making really, really great money teaching people how to make Reels, and have been over the last few years. And I totally could have probably had a 7-figure business teaching people how to make Reels, but that wasn't what I wanted to be known for. And the opportunity kind of presented itself again when AI came out. I saw the wide open landscape of anyone could step into that space as an expert. And I'm pretty savvy with technology, and jumped in and geeked out and played around with it and fumbled forward, and even hosted a couple like AI, how to use it for your business. And same thing, that same question, is this what I want to be known for? Like, do I want to, if I were to stand on stage, if I were to be writing my next book, if I were to be, sending like my ideal clients and who I want to work for, or who I want to, like, what the content is that I want to make, is this what I want to be known for? And again, it was no, I don't want to be known as the AI girl. And this one question has actually helped me stay more on mission. It has helped me stay more on track. It has helped me stay true to what is for me, to what we are doing even here with Business and Bubbly. Like, some of our core missional, like our foundational beliefs, is that we believe women are to be seen and heard and known, and to find that place where they belong. And so we provide those spaces. I equip our chapter directors to be better speakers and leaders and profitable community builders. And that all fits in with the realm of being seen and heard and known, and creating spaces of belonging. And so when I got really, really clear on that mission, it actually helped me say, okay, this is one of the things, like, this is what I want to be known for. And it allows me to, say yes to the right things and no to the wrong things, or yes to the amazing things, to the great things, and no to the good things. It allows me to say yes to the ideas that are in alignment with that mission, and no to the 4,998 other ideas that are not within that mission, even though they're good ideas. And so for me, this one question is, what do you want to be known for? And it helped provide so much clarity for me. And so I actually want to ask you that for you, maybe you have multiple ideas that you're running with, multiple businesses that you're running with, multiple things that you're trying to launch or build or create. Here's the thing, is that when you actually have that message on your heart and you know what you want to be known for, it can actually show up in multiple ways, right? So for me, it's we all have this innate human soul need to be seen, heard, known and to find these places of belonging where we fit. And those are beautiful needs that we have as human beings. Like, it is not coming from a space of, oh, I'm needy for you, and I'm like coming from this codependent place, or I'm not coming from this independent place where I can just like go at it alone and I don't need anybody else in my life type of a mentality. Like, I actually recognize the need that my soul has for community, for connection, to be seen, like to be vulnerable enough to be fully seen and to be known, like for my heart to be known, for my dreams to be known, for even on my bad days where, gosh, I'm a mess and I don't have it all together and my whatever, and I'm actually willing and vulnerable. I'm willing to be vulnerable and open up and to be seen and known even in those spaces. And so those are like soul needs that we have, which we're supposed to pursue in healthy community and around safe people. And so it's like, oh man, when it looks like creating that place, like even on our website on Business and Bubbly, you'll see that what it looks like for us to be seen, where we amplify the women in our spaces, our chapter directors, even our members, even if you're a guest in one of our chapters, to be seen, to be heard, to be known. You get to come up to the front of the room and share about your business, or we create spaces where genuine connection happens so that your dreams can be known, so that you can be heard, so that what you carry is valued, what you bring to the table matters. And with this mentality, with these core values, like I said, and really being clear on what I want to be known for, like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, it really is to see women rise. And I don't know about you, but for me, I know I'm called to be a voice. And I think for us as women, we are now in a space where we don't need to find our voice. We already have a voice. We actually just need to be empowered to use it, and to use it well. Because it's not just about using it, right? Like, I don't know about you, but when I first learned when I was speaking and I was so excited about an idea, and I would just like verbal vomit all over everyone, and it actually turned people away. So it's not just about using your voice, but it is about using it well so that the people that are meant to hear it can actually receive it, right? I'm going to give you this example. One of my mentors, Russell Brunson, he has this term that he calls, it's called technobabble. And a lot of us, when we're in an industry for a while, I remember when I did this back in the day, 10 plus years ago when I was a personal trainer, and I would use this technobabble of the, oh yeah, like your Paraform is this, and your rhomboid that, and your blah, 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 and you should take this supplement because the ashwagandha is amazing. And people like, that is the technobabble that for me and my like anatomy brain and nutrition expertise brain made total sense, but to anybody else listening to me, they had no clue what the frick I was talking about, and it didn't make sense to them. And so what I had to remember that, oh yeah, I have to speak in a way that reaches those that are listening to me in order to have it have the effect of the impact that I want to make. So it's not just a matter of finding your voice. You already have a voice, and you just need to be empowered to use it, and to use it well, because there are people that need to hear your message. I don't know about you, but I've been through some stuff, and there are lessons that I have learned along the way. I have failed forward more than I can even count. And John Maxwell has this beautiful book. I read it to my son. There's a kid's version of it, and it says, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, right? It's not about winning or losing. You're going to learn. And it's this really cute little analogy of these kids playing this sport and working hard and putting in the reps. They were, and then eventually they go on to win this championship. And so sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. I don't know about you, but like, I have won some, but oh man, I have learned way more than I have quote unquote won, if you will. And so a lot of those lessons, they get to show up in this place, at this podcast, for me to be a voice. This is kind of one of those places where the lessons that I learn gets to come forth. For me as a speaker, that's another place where me as a voice, that gets to be amplified. For me as an author in my books, that's a place where my messages and the stories and the lessons that I have learned along the way, that they get to be put in print and lived on as a legacy far more than what I will ever live on this earth. Like, my books are going to be around, and I hope one day, and I know one day that 100 years down the road after I have passed on from this life, that somebody is going to pick up my book, Meant for More, Igniting Your Purpose in a World That Tries to Dim Your Light, and it's going to change their life, because it has changed thousands of women's lives all around the world in the last 7 years that I published it. And so here's the thing, is that for you, it's like, okay, what do you want to be known for? And if you want to help get clarity around that, like, my encouragement for you is to journal about that. And if you know one of the things that you want to be known for, or maybe you know one of the lessons, like, this doesn't even have to be the huge question, the clarity on the absolute calling on your life, or how that is meant to be reflected, but you know that you're meant to be a voice, and you know that you have lessons that you have picked up along the way. You know that part of your story, that you have been through some stuff, and that you've learned the lessons along the way that you want to pass on to others. Because here's the thing, is that part of our purpose is to, yes, like, get through the different parts of our journey and to pick up the lessons along the way, but we're not meant to keep those lessons. We're not meant to keep those breakthroughs. We're actually meant to pass those on to others so that they can receive similar breakthroughs, so that they can learn from us and from our lessons, so that they don't have to take the same detours and hit the same potholes and hit the same roadblocks and hit the same brick walls that we did. That hopefully what we have learned along our journey, that when we pass those on to others, it is meant to help them go faster and farther than what we could have done without the lessons, right? And if this is you, if you're like, yes, there is this one part of my story that is meant to be seen and heard and known in a much bigger way, that this lesson that I've learned, that I'm ready to amplify the message, this part of my message, this part of my journey, this part of my story, then I want to officially invite you to our brand new Emerge program. Okay, this is a 6-month speaker author accelerator, and it is meant to amplify what it is that message that you have, the lessons that you have learned. And clearly you are in business. And I remember when I was in business years and years ago, before I became a speaker, before I became an author, I remember this was kind of the one big domino that actually made everything else in my business way easier, right? I didn't need to launch another product or another offer or put together another funnel or run another email campaign. When I was trying to do those things over and over and over and over and over and over, and I just kept hitting up against the same frustration, the same overwhelm, the same smaller results, where I'm like, oh, I'm putting in so much effort, and the return on investment, the return on time, it's not there. Something has to give. And I remember a friend saying, actually, you should do, an opportunity came up where they were taking applications to be a collaborative author in a program years and years ago. And for me, I knew that I was I would love to write a book. I kind of had the FOMO in a good way of, my friend just launched another book, and something in my heart says that I should write a book too, but I don't know where to start. It's overwhelming. I look at my computer and all I get is the blinking cursor of death, and I just leave with a half-written sentence that doesn't even really make sense, and I just put it in my Google Doc, and that's the extent of my book writing. And so when this co-author, this collaborative book opportunity came up, I was like, oh, okay, I could do that. I know I've written longer essays in college, and how cool would it be to actually be a contributor with a bunch of other women, which I love collaboration and I love women coming together. So I think there were 15 of us that we all contributed to this book. It's called They're Sealing Your Floor. You can grab it on Amazon. And it's a compilation of different stories. And I remember this was almost like the gateway drug for me. It was all of a sudden we had this, we wrote the book, all of us authors contributed to it. We all submitted our short stories, as our own kind of individual chapter. We had this really great book launch event and book signing. And I remember standing there and I was so excited for my book. And then all of a sudden behind my name, I could put author, and a dream of my life fulfilled. I was officially an author. And I remember it was this gateway drug where I was oh, oh, I could totally do this for a whole book. And I could totally write. And so it was like from that place, it opened up. Like that was the thing that like got my foot in the door to write my next book, to get even more speaking engagements, to even know how to storytell, to know how to hook people in, to know how to get detailed in different stories, and to take even little lessons that I had learned and be able to draw out, or even little stories or little moments of my day, and all of a sudden they were a lesson that could mean something to someone else. And so are there big, huge stories and lessons? Of course. And there are smaller ones in the everyday, in the everyday life that we live, whatever it is that we are doing with our kids or that kind of a thing. And so I remember this gateway drug of this collaborative book where it was really, really special to me that it wasn't overwhelming. It was so doable, and it was collaboration to the core. And so with this Emerge program, this is the start of it. And I'm so it is so meaningful to me that it literally is a collaborative book. And so applications are officially open for women to submit. If you want to apply to submit to be a collaborative author in our book. And here's the kicker, is that because it's not just putting your message in a book that can amplify your authority, that can amplify your message, that can all of a sudden where you can start to get strategic and use the QR code to build your email list, and we're going to do a podcast tour and all this fun stuff that actually accelerates the authority that you have in your industry without having to do a whole nother whatever thing that you've probably already tried to do. It's a speaker and an author accelerator. So we're actually going to go through my major impact messenger framework, and then we're working with big impact books. Melody, she is an incredible, she's a publisher. We are partnering with Arise Publishing House, and Melody helps with book marketing and podcast tours and PR and editing and helping draw out your story. I'm going to help you with the speaker part. Melody is going to help with the author part. We're publishing with Arise Publishing House, and then we're all collectively not only marketing to hit bestseller for our collaborative book, but we also are literally providing the stage and the event for you to speak on and to have an amazing book signing, book launch party. And so this is different than what I've seen out there, because here's the thing. I've done speaker programs before, but there's no stage that you can actually get on. It's like, oh, here's how to learn how to be a speaker. And then great, you learn all this knowledge, but you have nowhere to apply it. And this is what I love about this, because I'm big on application. I am big on not only inspiration, but application. I'm big on not just learning about something, but doing it. And so the reason that we are doing it this way is that you literally are not just learning how to draw out your story and write a book, but you will literally be an author in 6 months if you are accepted into this program. You're not just learning how to be a better speaker and to move the room and to make an impact and to make a transformation and to leave that memorable mic drop moment that people leave from whatever it is that you're sharing on stage and the story that you're telling and how the message that you are amplifying, but that it transforms them for the rest of their life. That it's not just learning how to do that, but it actually is the stage and an audience to do it, because then we all collectively come together for a big, huge event at the end at our Rise conference in April. So this is the inspiration, the knowledge, and the application to actually put it into place. You get photos, you get videos, all of the social proof that you need. Because I also remember a part of my journey of as I became a speaker, as I became an author, it wasn't just a matter of me flipping a switch on my website that said, book me now as a speaker. I didn't have pictures of me as a speaker, or all of a sudden I was a speaker and I had this message, but I would apply to other, people and to be on their stages. And they're like, oh yeah, do you have a speaker reel, or do you have proof? Can you send us an example, or can you send us a video of speaking? And I'm like, well, not yet. And so this was kind of the beginning of, it's I'm taking all of these pieces to to literally amplify you as a voice so that you are seen and heard and known. We're putting you on stage, we're putting you in a book, giving you all the steps that you need along the way, and the community and the support that it takes to take a risk like this. Because I'm going to be honest, like when in 6 months, we're putting it in this time frames very strategically. First of all, because I think it can totally be done. I remember when I was writing my book, my solo book, Meant for More, it took me like multiple years to just like peck some things out on my website or like in my little Google Docs, and just, just a little bit here and there. And I was quote unquote writing a book, and it just seemed so far away. And then all of a sudden I remember giving myself a deadline, because another opportunity came up, and I was like, I'm going to have my book for that. And I literally gave myself a deadline, and I got it done in 2 weeks. And so we're giving a deadline because you will expand or contract the goal that you have to the space that you give it. I don't know about you, but for me, even in college, I could be given a huge project at the beginning of the year, and it was due at the end of the year or at the end of the semester, and it was all of a sudden, could I have gotten it done like in the first couple of weeks? Of course. I could have totally done the research and had the free time and the whatever, but did I wait until the last week before it was due? Of course. That's because there was a deadline that was coming up. And so we're actually contracting this program into 6 months in order to accelerate the results, to put a deadline on what it looks like to quickly accelerate your authority. I also know that when we're put under pressure in a good way, like what's underneath is going to come out. And so when you're put under pressure, there might be some junk that's going to come out, which is why we have a supportive community. We have mindset coaches, all this really great stuff, because when you show up, when you like jump into something to be seen in a bigger way, some stuff is going to come out. It's vulnerable. It can be messy. It can be like, oh my gosh, like this is really happening. But the dream that's on your heart is also going to come out. And so we kind of sort through the junk. We find the gold and the worth in that. And then that is what we shine a light on. That is what we amplify. That is when the good stuff comes out. Like what's underneath, like the depths of your dream, the depths of who you be, and the depths of who you are called to be in this next season. That comes out in the best way. And all of a sudden, like imagine with me for a minute what it could look like for you that in 6 months, behind your name or on your website, on your profile, you could put author and best-selling author. Our entire aim of the collaborative marketing is to hit best-selling author, and we're working with book marketing experts that literally make that happen. You're going on a podcast tour. We're going to teach you strategies on how to be able to leverage like podcasting and lead captures and lead gen and all this fun stuff, how to sell from the stage, all of this amazing stuff that you're going to need in your journey moving forward as the expert that you are. You don't need another irresistible offer. You don't need a whole nother product launch. You don't need to make 7 figures to be seen as the expert that you are. Like I mentioned, when I became a speaker and an author, this was the big domino that made all of that other stuff easier. And I can't keep this to myself. I literally, like, this was as I was learning, or as I was looking at, okay, like what is it that will be the big domino? Like, it's not doing again, and this is like even coming full circle to this conversation of what I want to be known for. I don't want to be known for the girl like creating email list challenges to grow your email list. I don't want to be known as someone that can help you build a funnel, which I can do all of that stuff. I've spent years and years doing all of that stuff and spent like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars learning how to do that stuff and how to strategically do it. But those are the things that I want to be known for. And the thing I want to be known for is to amplify the message of women, to let them be seen and heard and known, and providing this space for you to step up on, providing this platform for you to step up on this event, this book, the title of author, the title of speaker, and not just, oh yeah, I'm going through this program and I'm learning how to be a speaker, and then you change your website and you're a speaker. Like, no, there's the event, and you're going to have the pictures and the videos to prove it. I'm going to teach you how to pitch now to then other stages, so that eventually one day you can, either host your own profitable event, or all of a sudden you are able to start to pitch other stages and get on other stages, because you have the social proof, because you have the testimonials, because you have the videos and the speaker reel and all the speaker one sheet and all this fun stuff, right? And so I'm so stinking excited about this. I hope that you can hear the excitement and the conviction in my voice, because there is nothing like this out there, that you literally go from blank page to bestseller, from the audience to the spotlight in 6 months. And so for you, if so maybe you've had some success in business, and maybe you're trying to kind of launch a handful of different things with some success, but what you're doing is you're like, no, there's one big domino that is going to actually push everything that I'm doing over the top. And this is going to be the amplifier for what it is that I'm already doing. And it's becoming a speaker and an author. And so this is kind of the authority accelerator, the expert accelerator, the speaker author accelerator, for you to emerge onto the scene in a whole new way, which is why it's called Emerge. So if you are like, your heart is saying, this is for me, you are like raising your hand, your hand through the digital ethers of listening to my voice for this, and you know that this is actually the next step for you, then I want to encourage you to apply. Now, there's a catch, and this isn't like false scarcity. This isn't a, this is just isn't false scarcity. And it's because it legit is, we only have so much time at the event for speakers, like only so many speaker spots, and we only have so much room in a book. And so space is very, very limited. And as we are getting in applications, we actually already did an internal launch, and spots have already been taken. So we're actually already down to like half. Okay. Half of the spots have already been taken from our internal launch. And so for you, if you want to apply to be a part of this, we vet through applications. We need to make sure that the stories align. The working title of the book is called Rise: How to Find Your People, Your Power, and Your Purpose in Your Journey to the Top. And which I'm so excited about. Oh my gosh. And our event is the Rise Conference with Business Bubbly, our Business Bubbly Rise Conference, our 3rd annual. And so it just fits right into the theme of being seen and heard and known. And I'm just so excited about it. So if this is for you, if you're like, yes, oh my gosh, tell me already how to apply, then all you have to do is go to businessandbubbly.com/emerge, EMERGE, businessandbubbly.com/emerge, and apply. There's the sales page. You'll be able to learn all about it. You can send in your application. And if we feel like your story or parts of your story are going to be a good fit. So if it fits within those category of how to find your people, maybe you're a community builder, or it fits in within the category of finding your power. Maybe you went through something where you had given your power away, and all of a sudden you, like the lessons that you learned on how to take your power back and now stand in your power, we want you to apply. Or maybe it's how to find your purpose. Maybe you have tried all the different things and you've like done all the whatever, and all of a sudden you're like, no, this is what I'm made for, and you have found your purpose, you have found your divine design, and you want to help others be able to do that as well, then you can fit within these 3 different categories within the greater story, within the greater theme of the book called Rise. So again, all you have to do is go to businessandbubbly.com/emerge for our speaker author accelerator. Again, this is true to our collaborative nature, where I'm working with our speakers. We have our book marketing expert with my major impact method, major impact messenger framework. And then we have Big Impact Books and Arise Publishing House. We're all collaborating together for you to be seen and heard and known, to emerge as the leader, as the expert, as the woman that you are meant to be. And I'm just like so excited. Like, I'm just so excited. I just can't even, I'm already looking down. I'm already imagining myself at the Rise conference in April, at the end of April, just sitting there bawling my eyes out, watching every single woman up on stage, sharing her story, microphone in hand. Like, I will just be a big blubbering mess and I won't even care. And it will just be so beautiful because I will just be so stinking proud of our girls. And you should just come and be a part of it. So go to businessandbubbly.com/emerge. Apply today. I would love to learn more about you and your story. I will personally be reading every application. And then those that we're collaborating with, we will be deciding on who the final spots will be. So businessandbubbly.com/emerge. And oh man, this is going to be an amazing one for the books. Literally. See what I did there? All right, my friend, have an amazing day. Cheers to your success. And maybe we'll see you on the Rise stage and in the Rise book with Emerge. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I hope it brought some value and some fun into your business and life. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, and even share the episode with a fellow business bestie who you know will love it. It helps us continue to attract top-level guests and reach more and more women who are on their journey in business just like you. Remember that when money gets in the hands of good women, great things happen. Cheers to your success.